Hello, Trig people. How are you guys doing today? It is Tuesday, so hopefully yesterday's lesson went well. Hopefully yesterday you actually did it on Monday. So it would be best if you would keep up with these day to day so you don't get swamped at the end of the week and trying to do a bunch of them at once. So hopefully you did yesterday's, and hopefully you were able to do some of the problems. I decided that I want to do a couple of them with you today, so that I can make sure that you know what you're doing, and then I'll give you a few more to practice, and then we'll move on tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to keep this slow. We're not in any kind of race here. We've got all kinds of time, so we're just going to go at whatever pace we've got to do. So I decided I want to do number 13 first. So number 13 looks something like this. My drawing's not going to be great. I got 37 degrees down low, 48 up top, and 18 meters over here. Now I can put letters on this, or I don't have to put letters on this. It really doesn't matter. As you get better and better at this, you don't need the letters. You'll realize that it's just the angle and the side opposite that's associated, and then you just put them in whatever spots you need. You can fill in your blank with X or whatever you need. So this is one of those problems like I was talking about yesterday where you wouldn't have the control. Like they don't give you an angle and the corresponding side to it. Okay, but this is a very simple problem to come to get that information. Because if you notice, we have all the angles on the inside except C. Okay, so if I do, and I know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, so if I do 180 and I subtract 37 and then I subtract 48, it tells me that I've got 95 degrees here. Okay, and we know since this isn't a 90-degree triangle, all the SOHCAHTOA stuff's out, all the Pythagorean theorem is out. We've got to use the law of sines to get what we need here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now that I have the control. I'm actually going to put a little red box around the control so that I know it moving forward. Okay, so I'm definitely going to use C as part of my problem. So I've got sine of C over C. At this point, I just need to decide which one I want to find first. A is first in the alphabet, so I'm going to go with A. So I'm going to be looking for this spot right here that I'm underlining. Okay, so I'm going to go sine of A over A. And again, I've got three pieces of information, so I can fill in what I know. I've got sine of C, which is 95. That's all over 18. And then angle A is going to be 37. So sine of 37 all over A. Again, we can cross multiply just like we did yesterday. So A sine of 95 is equal to 18 sine of 37. And again, like we talked about yesterday, we could calculate this right now because this whole right side of the equal sign is a number, okay? But I'm gonna lose my validity on that number if I go ahead and calculate it right now because I'm at some point gonna have to round that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of sine of 95 because right now it's multiplied by A. If you missed out on yesterday, this being multiplied, it comes from the cross multiplication process, which we just did. But understand that to get rid of it, you just have to divide. So divide by sine of 95 on both sides. And that is going to give me whatever side A is. Now I'm going to have to use my calculator. Hopefully you were able to find something yesterday that would get you close to that. So sine of 37, and then I'm dividing by sine of 95. All right, so I came up with 10.87. Again, hopefully you found some type of calculator yesterday. You can do this on your phone if you turn it sideways. So if you need help, just look up, just Google it. It's normally pretty good about helping you. Okay, so this gave me 10.87. Now I need to look at the way that I'm rounded on my picture. I'm going to go ahead and write down 10.87 so that we know that that's not actually, or so that we know when what we round isn't actually what it is. So the picture is rounded to the whole number on the side link, so I'm going to go ahead and round this one to the whole number. So I'm going to erase that little underline that I put there for the blank that we were looking for, and I'm going to call this 11 meters. Okay. Now at this point, I've just got to reverse the process again and do it for B. If I really wanted to, I could go in and just change 37 to a 48, and I could change this 37 right here to a 48. And really and truly, if you just got it in your calculator, all you have to do is change that 37 to a 48 and then hit enter again, and it will give you the new number. But I'm going to go through it again just to make sure that everybody knows what it is, because that's what we're doing here. We're practicing. I'm going to use the same control because that's the one that's given to me, and I know I probably haven't screwed up any calculations on it. but this time I'm going for B. Okay, so I'm going to set up the same control. I've got sine of 95 over 18, and that's going to be equal to sine of 48 this time, all over B, which is what we're looking for. Cross multiplying will give me B sine of 95. That looks like a 6. Let me change that. B sine of 95 is equal to 18 sine of 48. And again, just got to get rid of sine of 95 here. Okay, so B is going to be equal to, let me calculate that, 18 sine of 48. And then I'm going to divide by sine of 95. So it gave me 13.42. I'll go ahead and round that down to 13 because I'm going to go ahead and write 13.42. But when I put it up here in my picture, I'm going to go 13 meters. Now, again, one of the important things that I want to stress to you, because this is going to be very important moving forward, is that we make sure that this triangle works, okay? So I wasn't sure if I was clear on this yesterday. As I was saying it, I thought it made sense, but then when I played it back, I'm not 100% sure it made sense. So I want to go through it one more time. The smallest angle needs to be opposite the smallest side length. So our smallest angle in this picture is 37, and the smallest side length is 11, so that checks out. The middle ground, so the mediums of that, the middle angle is 48. It is between 37 and 95. It needs to be across from the middle side length. So 48 is across from 13. 13 is the middle. So that does leave 95 being the biggest and 18 being the biggest. So this triangle does exist. Again, that's very important, and it's going to be very important moving forward. Okay, so understand that, and it's an intricate process that is involved with this. Okay, so moving down, I'm going to do another one just to make sure that we're all on the same page. I liked 16. Yeah, let's go with 16. Okay. If I draw the picture, if I get it to look right here, I've got 18.2 degrees down here in the bottom left. I got 124.1. Whoa, come back here, son. Let me get this back right. Hang on a second. 124.1 degrees in this angle, and then I've got 94.6 meters. Okay, so this one's not ultra tough. It does give us the control, but again, it's very easy to find that third angle measure. I'm going to go ahead and do that now because I don't mind it being on the picture. So I'm subtracting 18.2 from 180 and a 124.1 from 180. That gives me 37.7. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. That doesn't change anything. I'm still going to be solving for whatever I'm going for. Notice I didn't put any A's, B's, and C's on this picture because they're not really relevant. So I want to get you in the process of just understanding how this all works. Okay, so 18.2 and 94.6 is our control, obviously. So I'm going to do sine of 18.2 over 94.6 as my control. And then I've just got to ask myself, what side do I want to go for? Do I want to go for the one opposite 124.1 first, or do I want to go for the one opposite 37.7? 124.1 was already given to me, so I think I'm going to do it. So I'm going to say sine of 124.1 all over. I'm just going to call that side X. Again, we don't need these A's, B's, and C's. A lot of people get confused by them. So just understand that it's the sine of the angle across from, over the side that it's across from. So let me check my math, make sure I got the right thing. Sine 18.2 over 94.6, sine 124.1 over X. I'm going to cross multiply. So X sine of 18.2 is equal to 94.6 sine of 124.1, and I'm dividing. That's going to give me X. Give me just a second. I'm going to type this in. I'm typing in 94.6 times the sine of 124.1. And then I'm dividing by the sine of 18.2, which is 250. Wow, that's a big one. 250.2 0.8, so I need to look at 0.8029. I need to look at my rounding on the picture. It gives it to me to one place, so I'm going to call this 250.8. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to erase X, and I'm going to put it on my picture, so 250.8. All right, so just to get you in the habit here of understanding how just quick and easy these problems are, if I want to solve for the leftover side, which is going to be this guy down here that I'm circling, okay, all I've got to do is substitute 37.7 into the last problem where I had 124.1. So I'm going to change my color to red. I'm going to go 124.1. I'm going to exit out, and I'm going to put in 37.7. So when I bring it down to the next level, it's going to be 37.7. And then, obviously that's going to change my X value, but I can just go back into my calculator and type it in. All I've got to do is change 124.1 to 37.7. Okay, so I've done that. I'm now dividing by a sine of 18.2 because I didn't type it all in at once. And that gave me 185.2. Okay, so just understand how easy it is to, once you get one of these problems set up, just use the same control moving forward so it's not too tough on you. So 185.2 meters. Okay, so again, let's zoom in here and just make sure that this triangle exists. I've got 18.2 is definitely the smallest angle. Is the side across from it the smallest? It is, 94.6. So then my middle angle is going to be 37.7. That's going to be straight across from 185.2, which is the middle side length, which only leaves us with the biggest angle and the biggest side length being 124.1 and 250. So again, that's important, and it's worth checking for every time. Okay, so I'm going to zoom it back out here in case you guys need to take a screenshot of this or anything. Please let me know if you have any issues. I think this was a helpful day for us to step back and take a look at this and make sure that we did a couple of the problems that we did right, that we did yesterday correctly, because it's not worth doing incorrect work and then moving on and not knowing what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few more of these to do today and let you practice it. So I'm going to go with page 302, numbers 18 through 28, even. Now, I know the evens are not in the back of the book. I know it's the odds, and I know this would be very easy for you to just go to the back and write them down. But I gave you the evens because I want to challenge you a little bit, and I know very easily that the answer key to this book is on the internet. I'm sure you can find it in less than 5 minutes. But challenge yourself. Make yourself a little bit better here. Yes, I'm just going to grade it and make sure that you did it correctly. So you could very easily write that down off the internet. But I want you to try it. Okay? So I need to see some work and stuff like that for you to get your full credit anyway. Okay, so let me know if you have any issues. You've got my iMessage. Stay inside. Don't do stupid stuff. And let me know if